welcome to the WhoTubia podcast. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. That was a bit weird. Hi, I'm John Granston, and I'm here with
Christopher Thompson.
And Charlie Ashby.
Hello.
And
Right.
we're here to talk about Let's Kill Hitler and all that fun
That's
stuff.
had very mixed reviews.
Which has had very mixed reviews.
Yeah.
Can I just say my overall opinion of the episode?
As long as you allow mine.
Yes. In one word, though. It has to be one word.
One word.
Okay.
Mine is fantastic.
Well, I've got a few words to go for. I've got. Yeah, you can't have one word.
Only use one.
Only allowed to use one. So I've got a few one words.
But you can only choose one of those one words.
Fair enough. Meh.
Right. And Charlie?
I thought it was okay.
So we got fantastic, meh, and okay. Hardly Budweiser, but let's continue. I have to say, when I first watched it, my opinion was definitely, huh? And I watched it again this morning, realising what I expected of this second time round, and I compare it more. I've still got thoughts in it, but I didn't dislike it as much as I did when I first watched it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
I've watched it about 4 or 5 times.
Sad bastard.
Yeah,
Right. Right. No. I'll explain the reason why. It's because I watched it when it was broadcast, and then I watched it again the same night because I liked it so much, and everyone was hating it. I was like, "Poor episode. I'll give you another chance," and I enjoyed it again.
Why?
And then I watched it with my brother, and then I've watched it with my family, and so I've watched it a few times, so I know the plot pretty much in throughout.
I generally expected something with significance set in Nazi Germany by calling it Let's Kill Hitler, rather than just be one line that informs the title and have Hitler for 2 minutes and nothing else involves Nazi Germany.
I think what I like this title because it's a bit of a left of field thing, and that's really why they're there, isn't it? Because of a left of field of incident, so the Doctor didn't get shot, which he gets poisoned anyway. We'll get to that, but it's like they were never going to kill off Hitler. They were never.
I know they weren't going to kill Hitler. It was just a nice idea to think, if you're going to have a title include Hitler, you expect more with Hitler. This has happened through every episode that's been. Every episode that's always had...
Well, you've
it's
never
described
had
the episode properly. Almost every title has.
No, wait.
So
but
then to have
I've not-
Let's
I've
Kill
not got-
Hitler,
I've not
which
got
has
into that
nothing
yet.
to do with
Chris,
killing
Chris,
Hitler, exactly.
Chris, I've not got into that yet. Because your next step in that is, of the Let's Kill Hitler, the movement known as the Silence think the Doctor is the most evil war criminal in the history of the universe. So to them, he's as bad as Hitler. So they're killing Hitler.
Okay, if you want to put it that way.
It is thought of like that. If you've been paying attention to the series, there's a lot of things that you can tick off from your little chart that I don't have, but I know a couple of fans probably do have.
I don't have one.
Of what things like Rivers said that you can tick off, like he says in the Pandorica Opens. There's a reference to the Doctor lies. She goes, Rule 1, the Doctor lies.
Yeah, I remember these things.
And when she says about learning to fly the TARDIS, she goes, "Oh, I was taught by the best." And then she goes, "But you were busy that day." Well, he was.
Yeah. I know it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
I didn't say
at one
that. You
point.
didn't say it didn't make sense.
But the way you were saying,
I'm just
I
saying
understand that all these references are coming full
reminding
circle.
people, Chris. I'm just reminding people who may not remember those.
Oh,
those,
right, okay. I thought you were having a go at me.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I take my citalopram.
For what?
It's a happy pill.
Right. Okay.
Ah.
There's, like I say, if you go back now and watch Series 5 and the opening episodes of Series 6, there are a few things that pay off, which is very nice. But one other thing before we move into the actual Oh, actually, what Charlie says as well is what was is this the last time, or are we now only going to see River from this point of view? Like, are we never going to see her as the person we know River to be?
I think so. I think personally, I don't think we're going to be able to. It's almost come to the end of the River story arc, which I don't think it would be fair to continue with afterwards, unless you ended with, I assume, taking her to see the Singing Towers, giving her another Sonic, and knowing she's going to die the next time she meets him.
Maybe. Oh, you don't think she's coming back later? You don't think she's coming back this series at all?
Oh, she's coming back.
Oh, right, yeah.
I know she's coming back. The last episode just reveals that.
The Wedding of River Song.
Yeah, the Wedding of River Song, but you're not invited.
Well, you know, we've just had Let's Kill Hitler. It probably won't have River Song in it.
Yeah.
That would be a twist.
It'll be about a river that has musical instruments playing, and it marries a tree.
Oh, Christ, it's not that stupid. Just fantasy rubbish. I know Doctor Who's meant to be obviously not realistic to that sense, but you can't really just invent all these stupid things like it's a planet that married an asteroid. It's a honeymoon planet. Actually, it's not really a planet. It's not really for honeymoons. Then why? I know I like the fact that he says things and then contradicts himself. I like that, but I don't really like when they come up with stupid things. It's like when Russell T Davies used to have, like, David Tennant say, I was going to make you see the diamond falls of blah 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 blah. Places which are complete rubbish, imagined by children or some spaz who's in his 40s or late 40s and who can't write a decent episode without a Dura Machina.
Well, no, I think Doctor Who's more of a science fantasy, especially since it came back.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that stupid. It's almost 50 years of the whole thing.
No,
and
but
not once before have they invented a silly thing.
Since it came back in 2005, it's been a science fantasy, whereas before it was the science fiction. But I think science fantasy suits the show better.
Not in that sense.
Partly because I hate science fantasy, but it just means that you're allowed to have a bit of an imagination like that, and I don't mind the writers going. Oh,
I don't mind imagination. I don't mind imagination. Like when you have, I don't know.
Pyrovile. I don't know.
When you have like the monsters and things, nothing wrong with them, unless that's Levine, in which case it's mixed reviews.
Why don't you like the Levine?
I don't mind them. I'm just thinking they're not the strongest of villains. I think the fart gags seem to throw me off a bit. I'm not one for fart gags, and I think if you have to put that in a show that's on prime time for families, it did make people roll their eyes or sort of,
Okay.
But
and that's
I don't mind some.
Eccleston left.
I don't mind the monsters. Okay, I'll rephrase this, Levine. I'll say I don't mind the monsters except the Absorbloff. Absolute waste of time. And the kid who invented him is an idiot. Well, actually, I can't say that. He only drew him. Russell T Davies ruined that childhood.
I still really like the Toclophane.
I don't mind the Toclophane.
They're nice and
even.
I didn't mind that. I quite like that. I don't mind when it comes to the fantasy of villains and what they do. When the killing seems to be exactly the same as everyone else, it does get a bit tiresome. Like, it's always the same laser or something. Yeah, other than that. When it comes to, like, planets like it's a planet that married an asteroid and things, it just seems too silly.
Yeah.
If it's a fantasy thing, you want to believe this world exists. That's where kids can escape to. Not to just have all this rubbish just thrown out in your face from two scriptwriters who think, let's invent some rubbish, shall we? Where would I like to go on a holiday in my fantasy dream world of crap?
Jim the Fish.
Oh.
Still building his dam. Can I quickly say, I know this is totally out of the place of the commentary, but this is really random.
I'm not going to marry you, John.
Right, thank you. Charlie.
Oh my God, Charlie!
No.
Don't just say no. You
No,
don't know him well.
No. What it is
It'll be a shame. I don't want to be there for the divorce.
the TARDIS screen. animation, right? As someone who likes, if you watch Time Agent, especially Series 3, all of the screen work on that is mostly done by me. So I like to make the screen look like it works. And in the, in Series 1 to 4 and the specials, the TARDIS screen was brilliant because it was alien, but you could tell it was doing things, right? And it looked right, and it didn't look human or anything like that. Ever since the new TARDIS came in, it's like got stupid wiggly transitions on it, and it looks all human, and it's like, ooh, this was made in Windows Movie Maker, and I just hate it to bits. So
come off it, John. Windows Movie Maker couldn't do that.
But still, it's just the bit where he goes, oh, just some stuff I got off the Tesseract, and he turns the screen, and then the writing kind of sinks away into a whirlhole.
If you actually watch that scene back, if you actually watch that scene back, I watched it. As he turns away and turns the screen off, you can actually still see.
Yeah, you can. You can still see it on.
You can still see the picture of him on there.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
It's a really bad continuity bit there.
I mean, even where Amy was standing, she could still see it. I'm pretty sure she would be able to just look at the screen.
I don't know why he kept it secret. I mean, they knew this before he did.
Yeah. And it didn't have
don't
any...
mean to be an offence, but we got there before you.
Or maybe it could have just been... No, you can't see this because it's one of those pictures
we were
that
there.
I get to see, which are the promotional pictures that end up in the show.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a minute. Donna's got an interesting pose. I don't remember her doing that in the series.
I reckon
yes, she did it on cover art. Martha as well, Rose.
They were all
I'm
doing...
glad that actually dispels a rumour, actually, because he's old news. Moffat, he was, when he was doing the press release and things, he kept coming up with loads of rubbish sort of spoilers, purely to throw people off, to lie. And he said something about that Rose, Martha and Donna returned to help the Doctor out. And I read that and thought, no. And thankfully, just having those pictures on there, although to my disgust of seeing that Billie Piper's face is still huge, I'm glad they weren't actually the actors brought in. I reckon maybe if they were the actors, right, I reckon Rose would just have one look at Matt Smith and just think, ugh, I'll go back to my parallel world.
No, she's already yeah.
Well, come on, Martha's meant to be the faithful, and she ended up not only just being a rebound, but then eventually going off saying she's going to marry this Doctor, and eventually goes for Mickey Smith.
She rebounds across the universe, she does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get this opening sequence with... I love the crop circle.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
It's a great thing, because like at the start of Series 6, you've got the Doctor trying to wave at them from history. This is them making a massive footprint for him to come.
And it's like River Song writing Hello Sweetie coordinates on the oldest cliff face in the universe.
Yeah, I like the fact that they all have spectacle to talk to each other. But then at the end of the episode, she completely undermines that and goes, how do people look for you? What do you mean? The start of the episode, you wrote the word
That does sort of throw off
field.
the logic of last time. It's like, people have spent years looking for me, and they never find me.
And now
Wilf.
we've just turned up for a
and now everyone seems to manage it.
Yeah.
Small universe, isn't it?
all of a sudden.
Or maybe, well, actually, it is a small universe, given everything is a major paradox spawned out of Moffat's arse.